company was going, keeping up with technology, watching the disruptions to a lot of well-established businesses, seeing retail get completely remade, books, music, all these other things, and the miracle of Amazon delivering packages to our door as they did, really concerned me that the same disruptions were headed for the machine tool industry. And as a manufacturer of a control, I had to be very concerned about the fact that technologies were getting easier to use. Our sister's company in Europe sold the Siemens controls on their machining centers, and we knew from association that Siemens had made their programming very, very easy, and thereby making a great deal of technology available to customers in a format that was just about as easy as the product that we had, and that was of great concern. I'd known Siemens for many years because of our association with our sister company and their success in selling the SINUMERIK control. So Tom Copeland, our Vice President of Operations, kept encouraging me to meet him at the Siemens booth. And the presentation at the show made it very clear that Siemens was not going to follow in this new technology, but Siemens was determined to lead. I knew there was a good chance that we could get the line here in the US and market to our customers and open up that market for them. So it was really an epiphany that I had at the show, as a matter of fact, lying awake in the middle of the night, when it came to me that not only did we need Siemens to help us future-proof ourselves, but Siemens was not very well known in the United States. And I knew that our market reach would be very helpful to them, establishing a beachhead in this particular market. What I wasn't sure of is whether or not my organization could handle it. So when I returned from EMO 2019, I discussed the possibility of marketing Siemens controls on our machine tools with our national sales manager and now vice president. And he went to England to work with the sales reps of our sister company to understand for himself whether or not it would make a good mix of product lines for us to sell the SINUMERIK CNCs along with our TRAK CNCs. And after a week of talking with those sales reps and those application people and thinking through for himself what would have to happen with our organization, he came back and he was quite certain that we could be successful with that product. He was also very impressed with the power of the Siemens control, the SINUMERIK control, and also of its usability and ease of use. And he thought it would make a terrific mix of products. Chris Britton and somebody else was at our company in the conference room pitching us on motion control devices to integrate into our TRAK controls. And I'd known Chris Britton previously, so I interrupted the meeting and I said, Chris, I want you to come over to the next building. We have a national sales meeting going on. So Chris and I went over to the next building, and John, the Vice President of Marketing, was conducting the meeting. And there was a viewing room where Chris and I were standing behind a pane of glass and looking at 45 guys in the meeting. And I said, Chris, in a year from now, those guys could all be selling SINUMERIK controls. What do you think of that? And Chris was not shy at saying, wow. Shortly thereafter, Chris introduced me to Brian by phone because COVID was still in full roar, and introduced me by phone to Brian McMinn, and we started talking about the prospect of us working together. We were making good progress, and we were weighing whether or not to go in with the 828 control or the 840, and we weren't sure which would be the right control for us. In one of our weekly meetings, Brian told me that he'd been talking with the guys at the headquarters, and they favored us going with the SINUMERIK One because that was the future of Siemens. And it was surprising to me, but the more I thought about the idea, the more I liked it. So that's how we started with the SINUMERIK One. Judging from how fast things are changing and how fast technology is moving, our customers face a world that's very different than the world we live in today. And they need to partner, and we need to partner with the kind of players that can help us cope and thrive in this new age of technology. What Siemens has done is to envision the needs of tomorrow and to help drive the future of manufacturing by pioneering and developing this digital twin and digitalization platform. Siemens has led technology many times in the history of the company, and I believe it's on the path of leading technology again. The digitalization platform is what has transformed filmmaking, music, retail, logistics systems. It is surely coming to manufacturing. Now, if we look at the digitalization platform, and we see that the SINUMERIK One has been designed as a digital native to project a very high fidelity image of itself to its digital twin. It's easy to see how that transforms our customers' ability to plan and to train and to quote, and all of these things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis will be taken to another level of simplicity and enable manufacturers in the future to divide out jobs by skill sets and get the collaboration of many people within their value chain. And when you look at what people have to do now, we all depend on that one guy in the shop who knows how to get stuff done, all right? And those guys are not to be found these days, and they're getting rarer and rarer. But with the digital twin and the digitalization platform, you can have specialists and different people of different skill sets come together in all of the different things that are needed, in the expertise in tooling and fixturing and work holding and CAD, and all these things come together into one collaborative effort that can run in a continuous train of jobs as they go out to the actual machine and get manufactured. Now these things are still somewhat out in the future. With the enormous investments that Siemens is making in software, they're going to actually drive the future with the ability to bring together advanced software, including artificial intelligence, and make these things available to the everyday shop. The shops who are on board with this technology, and we're encouraging people to at least get started with it now, they're going to thrive. Well, the digitalization and the digital twin has many different manifestations. What we're looking at here is a product that Siemens sells called RunMyVirtualMachine. And what we're looking at specifically is a model of this machine, which has been, without the shrouding in this case, and it's modeled up here in this piece of software. And what the software does is replicates the machine as well as the SINUMERIK One control. What we were able to do with this, and this is an actual job that's running in our shop, well, it's already finished right now, but the job is replicated here, and what this represents is the ability to set the job up entirely using RunMyVirtualMachine software and be able to test different scenarios and different fixture strategies, different tooling, different ways of running things. The SINUMERIK One control has an amazing set of productivity tools and efficiency tools, and there are different strategies that one can employ to get the most out of the production run. So rather than do it the old-fashioned way, which is to set it up on the machine, break some tools, spend a bunch of time with the machine not cutting parts, you're able to let the machine keep running another job, set everything up here in RunMyVirtualMachine, and be pretty sure you've got a great program. By the time you get it down to the shop floor, it's pretty much ready to go, and you press the go button and you're making parts again.